I started this thread with the intention of forgiving my 29F BF after basically cheating, texting and messaging women and bots on other platforms, some explicit. Only this isn't his second chance, it's technically the third. As ridiculous as the third event is, it's still cheating, whether it was a bot or not. The other issue I addressed was that my sister, 34F, will not forgive or acknowledge him now, which I totally understand, but it would be obvious in front of my family, putting her character at risk, because my parents don't know what's going on. They will wonder why she's being so rude, and that will hurt me even more. So I was wondering how to remedy the situation, or if it was pointless and the relationship is doomed. She also revoked his invitation to her wedding. I am on her side. He has made me feel bad about this, but I agree with her. I don't even want him at my sister's wedding. Y'all did not hold back, and honestly, I needed to hear it. I want to thank everyone who took the time to give me solid advice. For many of you, it probably came from experience, and you know, on some level, what I am going through. For others, you have common sense, or are blessed with a strong will, or maybe just know better. But your advice and feedback still mean a lot. I'm sorry I couldn't respond to everyone, but I tried to read every response. Since I already put myself out there, I'll go ahead and address a lot of common threads. 1. My sister is an angel for putting up with me. That's putting it nicely. She is right not to want him at the wedding, and she's an excellent judge of character. I should take her advice and all of yours and run. 2. I was in therapy, a lot of it. I thought I had moved on from all of this nonsense, so it was really hard to see it for what it is. I'm a bit out of practice, but he literally gaslit me so many times. I used to be an expert in this. My therapy started at 14 through 16, then again at 17 to 19, and again at 23 to 24. I definitely need some alone time. I did have back-to-back relationships, with one break lasting up to at least 6 to 8 months, but my BF was relentlessly pursuing me at the time. I let his harassment slide for so long, and then I dated him. I saw him for what he was and chose to see what I thought he could be. He is not that person. Manipulation is crazy, especially when the fog clears, which it has with everything you all had to say. My eyes are opening. It hurts so much to let the image of him go, but I need to realize it's not really him. It's fake, doesn't exist. I have safe places I can go. I have a support system and people who will be there for me. I promise this wasn't for attention or clickbait. I was really lost before coming to Reddit. It was my first actual post. But I've hit a new low, and I think my subconscious was screaming for someone to wake me up. What better way than this? Y'all didn't disappoint. I want to leave my BF now. I need to make a plan. Many of you recommended I should follow through with packing my stuff and leaving while he's at work. So that's what I'll do. I need a few days to reorganize, but I need to do this. And for anyone who read this and is going through something similar, I hope this thread helped you as much as it helped me. I have free will, this is my life, I don't need him. I will be okay, better even, without him. The wedding will be epic, especially because he's not going to be there. I need a real man. Wherever he is, I hope I find him. I don't want to settle for anything less than what I deserve. I'll keep you posted. Thank you all. K. My sister Eve, 34F, got engaged last year, and I, 29F, am her maid of honor. We weren't always close, but we are really close now. She's my big sister and has always been really protective of me. I've had really bad experiences with men, but I've also been lucky to know what a good man is and looks like. My BF, 33M, Kevin, of 3 years, really fucked up. I broke down and told Eve what happened before I talked to Kevin, probably a mistake, because I was just devastated. Since then, after confronting Kevin, I chose to stay, even though I had my car packed. It felt like he used all the feel bad for me manipulative tricks, but it worked, and I'm still here. I really do love him and care for him. But now, Eve is refusing to acknowledge or talk to him. She also revoked his invite to her wedding. Ultimately, Eve doesn't want him in the wedding photos, and she doesn't trust him anymore. I totally understand. I'm not sure if I even want him at the wedding anymore. We're still working on us, but if things don't work out, I don't want him to be in those photos. She thinks he'll be a stain in the photos, and I'm not sure if she's wrong. I want to express that I am not mad at my sister. I'm more on her side than his. He made a huge mistake, and now he's suffering the consequences. But I'm right in the middle of it. He is devastated. He loves my family, and now feels like everything is falling apart. So do I. If you thought it was messy now, Thanksgiving and Christmas are coming up. Eve is getting married just a few days after Christmas. How am I supposed to have my BF around the family, literally just my parents, Eve and her fiancé, and myself and Kevin, for Thanksgiving and/or Christmas dinner? Eve doesn't want to talk to him at all. It will be so obvious. She's sworn to secrecy. She won't tell anyone, especially not my parents. But if she acts like that, they'll know something is up. And all they'll talk about is the wedding that my BF knows he's not invited to, but can't tell anyone he's not invited to. I'm the maid of honor, so I have to be involved. It's just a mess. When he isn't at the wedding, I'll have to lie and say he has COVID, and that's why he's not there. And afterwards, I don't know. Should Kevin talk to Eve? Should he try to remedy it? Is this relationship over? I can't imagine being with someone my sister doesn't trust. She'll probably never think any guy is good enough for me, but this just feels like too much. My parents, Dad especially, love Kevin. Backstory/drama. I found out he had been messaging his exes and other women in April of this year. Really nasty stuff. One was even a closure message to someone he fell in love with years ago. Which, honestly, I wasn't as bothered by that as I was with the other stuff I saw. Also, for some reason, he was messaging bots on IG who were posing as sexy Latinas. LOL. We have lived together for over a year, so I slowly started organizing and gathering my things. I was preparing to leave. It took me weeks to confront him because it felt so hard. I knew my life, our relationship, would change. I was scared to lose that comfort I found in him. I chose to forgive him. We had a big talk. I said he needed to step up, yada yada. Months later, nothing changed. He was still up to his antics of not being a very good BF, just unsupportive, unhelpful, lazy. September comes around. We're watching TV, he's on X, and I see him go to his messages and quickly exit it out. I knew something was up. I decided to check his socials while he was at work to see if he was talking to anyone again. Lo and behold, I found new messages with a bot on X. She was sending him almost nudes and whatnot. He was responding, calling her baby, etc. I say her because it was probably a middle-aged man trying to scam people. I went numb, and I couldn't even cry at first. He wasn't supposed to be that guy. We were good friends for years before we started dating. He warned me against those guys, told me to stay away, that any dude who still talks to his exes or other women is just keeping his options open and is disgusting. He isn't supposed to be that guy. And now my whole reality has shifted, and I don't know what's real or not. This thought is what caused me to break down in front of my sister, causing me to tell her what happened. I didn't tell her about what happened in April. I only told her about the bot he was messaging on X. I've been cheated on, and I was even groomed by a man when I was 14, not really knowing any better, or thinking I did. It lasted years, and he abused me a lot emotionally. I've had a hard time with relationships ever since. I'm really good at dissociating too, so that's kind of what I've been doing, and totally avoiding confrontation with Kevin. We finally talked about everything the other day, and he's completely devastated again. I tried talking to my sister about whether she felt any differently about the situation, and she said no. She doesn't want to talk to him or acknowledge him, and he's still not invited to the wedding. He's upset and doesn't think it's fair. But he also gets it. He thinks she'd change her mind if I fought harder for him and advocated for him and our relationship. WTF am I supposed to advocate for right now? That's basically what I told him, in nicer words. I've been in back-to-back relationships my entire early teens to late 20s. I've learned a lot, and I've loved a lot. Kevin was supposed to be the nice guy. I chose the nice guy over money, over looks, over everything. I chose a guy that I thought would be a good partner and a good father one day. As stupid as it sounds, he was literally messaging a bot, and that's what did us in? It's hard to believe something so stupid, so ridiculous, so embarrassing for him would destroy our relationship. It more so brings up images of the messages I saw in April, and it's triggering AF. As I'm typing all this out, I feel like I know the answers to my questions, but I struggle letting him go so easily. I know I'm not responsible for his actions, but when he cried and told me he was nothing without me, he couldn't do it without me, I believed him because I feel the same way. But it felt really unfair. I had my car packed and I waited for him to get home from work. When he did, I told him I was leaving. We talked for like 2 days, and I ended up staying, more for him than me. But now, a month later, I'm just sad and confused. I love him and don't want to see him so hurt, but he caused this. I can't imagine anyone else can relate to a situation like this. Maybe it's not so uncommon. Should my BF try and talk to my sister, or is this relationship just doomed now? If this ends up getting a lot of attention and debate, I'll post the messages I found on his phone to settle it.